What is up, y'all? It's your boy Nick, and I'm back again with another video. Y'all see it on the screen. Like I said, we be doing different videos, different times, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be nothing but always good music, you know what I mean? But look, y'all see it on the screen, and for some reason, this caught my eye on some educational, educational, you know what I mean? Past predictions of the future every decade, brought to us by Oche Laga? I have no clue how to say your name, sir. I'm sorry. Or ma'am. Whoever. You know what I'm saying? But it piqued my interest, you know what I'm saying? Like, piqued my interest. So let's go ahead and get into it, bro.
Imagine for a moment what the world will look like in 10 years' time. Yeah. Not much different? What about 50 or 100 years from now? In this future world, what will our cities look like? How will you travel to work, school or college? And what kind of new technologies will we have at our disposal? What will the planet look like? And will we be any happier than before? Now this particular question is by no means new. Predictions and prophecies of the future are as old as time itself. But what have been some past predictions of the time we're in right now, the early 21st century? An age filtered through the internet, algorithms and data. Let's see if they're onto something. So, let's start by going back 120 years ago. In the 1900s, the invention of the first aeroplane opened massive potential in transportation and sparked the imaginations of the public. In Germany, a chocolate company called Hildebrands made a series of commemorative postcards imagining the life in the year 2000. They speculated that the world would go airborne. People will take to the skies in their very own personal airships and gliders. The same series also speculated that housing blocks will travel via giant steam trains, or that entire cities will be encased in glass to protect them from the rain. They even imagined summer vacations spent up at the North Pole.
Who thought of that? That's very stupid. Who would ever think of... Bro, I mean, it's kind of crazy to see that, though, like... That's really crazy to think, like, that was the thinking back then in the 1900s, bro. That's crazy to think about that, because, like, bro, it's still not prevalent yet, but the fact that that particular thing has stayed like relevant with futuristic times, and I'm talking about using domes to cover the world, it's still mind-boggling to me that they thought about this in the 1900s. That's crazy.
Sadly, maybe that one might come true one day. Take a look at these French prints.
I don't want to live in a
They also depict life in the year 2000, but this time were made around 1910. Once again, it was the future for the aviators, who will seemingly replace the motor car by the year 2000. This one pictures a man in a glider, grabbing a glass of wine for the road, or should I say skies. It's a bit like a modern day drive-through. This man is getting a haircut from his mechanical barber. Now I would use the term robot, but it won't be coined until 1920, 10 years from now. In the classroom, this contraption is fed books, whose words are then played directly into the students' ears. An early audiobook perhaps? Whilst it seems that fashion will go unchanged, these quaint imaginings from the start of the 20th century show a great sense of optimism for the future. It reminds me of the steampunk genre, a future vision and aesthetic but stuck in Victorian technologies like steam power and industrial machinery, as well as goggles and top hats. Now moving towards the 1920s, and we get another vision of the future. Fritz Lang's 1927 masterpiece Metropolis has some great resources for the topic. In this film, cities are now supersized, featuring mega skyscrapers, expansive highways and beautiful robots, all with a Jazz-Age Art Deco aesthetic. It was no doubt influenced by contemporary New York, which during the 20s was undergoing rapid vertical growth. Just look at how the city changed from the 1910s to the 1930s.
Dang!
It's also in the 1920s where we see the first flying cars. This 1923 drawing by early science fiction writer Hugo Gernsback introduces the first wheeled helicar, a levitating vehicle speculated to enter the market in 1973.
So I'm guessing that's what they thought a modern day plane would look like? That's interesting.
So now, let's take a realistic look at the road ahead and what tomorrow's motorist can expect in the years to come.
58.
Speed, safety, and comfort will be the keynotes of tomorrow's highways. A multicolored highway system may enable the motorist to reach his destination by following the correct color strip. The increased speed of tomorrow's automobile will demand that highway signs be larger and more simple to read.
Wait, they weren't expecting people to drive from one city from a whole different state to another based off of colors, is it? Because that seems quite dumb. I ain't gonna even cap you. Like, bro, that would not even work, bro, realistically. Like, bro, imagine. I mean, they kind of have that now, but it's like, it's more for cities that are close to each other in proximity of what state it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people will know, like, if you're actually, like, for Texas, for example, if you're trying to get to Dallas, right, there's, like, multiple, like, highways, that when you leave Dallas, it'll tell you, like, so it depends on where you leave in Dallas, like which direction. Obviously, you'll leave like leave to Houston, you know, somewhere, you know, Denton, whatever. Like, this is from, like, you know, y'all know it's for this applies to every station. I'm just saying, like in Dallas, like they'll tell you these signs, and then the more north that you go, then it'll start to be like, okay, exit to go to Oklahoma, or you know, to like Armadillo. I said Armadillo, Amarillo, and like all that type of shit. Like y'all know what I'm talking about. Like that's every state though. But they're saying this is from New York to like Dallas. That doesn't make any sense. Why would they have road signs from all the way from New York to exit to where to get to Dallas? And Dallas is like nowhere even near New York. And then they say in Reno, like that's in Las Vegas. So I'm like, bro, what? You know what I mean? Like that don't even like, bro. How? Why would they do that? Why would they do that?
So that the motorist can anticipate his moves well in advance.
Oh. Okay, my bad. Never mind then. So basically they're telling you this is the general sense of direction of where you. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call it dumb. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. That means you take the colored line to where you want to go, and that's where the general direction of that is gonna. That's where it's gonna be. So you take like the blue line, you're essentially gonna end up going to Dallas. You know, that's leading the way towards Dallas. So if you're going from New York to Dallas, so you're gonna go down like through Connecticut. Well, no, not Connecticut. You're essentially gonna go down. If you're trying to go to Reno, you're gonna go like somewhere wet. You're gonna go west. So it's like, okay, I see. Okay, that makes more sense now. That makes more sense.
Visibility.
Actually, that actually seems a little bit more. I said that seems stupid. Actually, I take that back. That seems actually more. That actually seems a little bit more helpful. I ain't gonna cap it.
Is poor, our windshield becomes a radar screen, showing the outline of objects ahead. Or fog may be eliminated by dispelling devices along the right-of-way.
Other predictions of the future include one 1950s article that too imagines what the year 2000 will be like. It predicts that the future will be one of convenience and luxury. This picture phone will allow us to buy products from a screen and have it delivered without leaving the home.
Amazon.
Then again, it also predicts that all our food will be made from a sort of flavoured sawdust that can be recycled into clothes. Confusing, I know.
I hope not.
Most interesting is the role atomic energy plays in a 1950s future. After the detonations of the atomic bomb in Japan, the world was awakened to the immense potentials of nuclear power. In the same article, it speculates that atomic power will provide 100% of the world's power, and by the year 2000, that street lamps will be replaced by micro-suns, suspended 200 feet in the air and powered by uranium. In reality,
I don't know if I could live in a world like that though, because I feel like that's more. That's like a less environmental, like. I feel like that's more pollution that's gonna cause to happen. That'd be cool though. But I'm just like, I don't know if that'd be, you know what I mean?
In reality, nuclear power only really accounts for 10% of global energy, and there are no micro-suns in sight. When we come to the 60s and 70s, the age of the moon landings and later Star Wars, visions of the future changed accordingly. In my mind, this is perfectly laid out in the Hanna-Barbera 1962 animated series The Jetsons, which follows the everyday lives of an ordinary nuclear family in the far, far future of 2062. Despite the wonderful technologies, it all seems somehow very 60s. The hometown of Orbit City is designed in the Googie architectural style, an early futuristic style that was extremely popular at the time. Even their outfits have some sort of retro futuristic look. By the end of the 60s, once the space race reached a climactic.
And you know what is interesting to me though, that like, bro, it's just fascinating looking back, like for me personally, it's just fascinating to looking back at what people thought that the future was gonna look like, and how futuristic to them that looked, but how old that looks to us now. Like that, like bro, imagine looking at like the Jetsons for example, right? And I know a lot of y'all don't even know what the Jetsons is. Good, mind you, I don't really know. I know like from the memes and stuff, this, that, and the third. But you know what I mean, like I never really watched like any of the Jetsons, obviously, but like looking back to seeing what it looks like then, and looking at it like, bro, that was supposed to be like farther than where we are at right now. I think that was supposed to be like what in the year 2070. I think did he say that? Did he say what year that this was supposed to be based off of? Hold on, let's do some research real quick. Yeah, so basically, like I was saying, like bro, so the Jetsons were supposed to. It says right here that the Jetsons were supposed to be taking place 50 years from 1960, so that would be they said like around 2012. They thought that we would be flying cars and living in like high places in between 50 years from where they were in 2012, bro. In 2012, bro. Bro, 2012, YouTube was just barely popping off. Bro, fucking, like, bro, we didn't even have no type of, like, automatic, like, no type of Tesla coming at all whatsoever. No type of autonomous type of cars at all. Even no flying cars, bro. We were still, like, bro, the most, I think what was the most advanced thing that happened? Like, the iPhone, what was it? The iPhone 5 came out, right? Around that time? 4 or something like that? Bro, we barely started to get into like touchscreen phones, bro. It's just fascinating to me to see how the earlier old times, like the olden times, like how they thought how futuristic stuff was gonna be compared to now that we're living in it now, and how we see futuristic that's gonna be. Like I'm just astonished to think of like how people are gonna view 2020 like 50 years in the future, so like 2070. I want to see. I'll be obviously I'm probably dead by then, but like bro, like the year 2070, imagine us they looking back at 2020 and be like, bro, they really thought that people were going to be flying cars by 2030 and stuff. Bro, imagine we still haven't got there yet, and that's 50 years down the line, and more technology. We are more technology savvy now than ever. And imagine us 50 years down the line, and we're still like not as technology technology. How do I say? We're not as technology advanced as we thought we would be in 2020. That'd be crazy, bro. Imagine if they see all the stuff that we thinking that the future's gonna look like, make it look like it's very dated, like where it's supposed to belong at that time. That's crazy. That's honestly crazy to me because like for them, it's like that was in 1960. That they thought 2012 was gonna be hella futuristic, but to us that looks like that was 60s. Like that looks like it's 60s, even though we don't even have any of that technology. But it looks like it's old. So it's like that's crazy to me, bro.
Ahead in the Apollo moon landings, many predicted that mankind will soon reach Mars in the next 50 years. And as the 70s came and went, the dream of space colonization continued. This NASA video imagines that by the year 2000, humans will have begun to colonize space, opening a permanent settlement on Mars.
Take a look.
This is Taurus, the concept that has evolved from the work of these teams of scientists and engineers. They believe the huge space colony could be built before the year 2000. From dairy farms to manufacturing, the concept of living and working in space is a possibility with existing technology. That new space home, located 250,000 miles from Earth, would even have a far-out address.
In the 80s and 90s, as personal computers...
I mean, looking at that now, it's like, that doesn't even seem realistic, though, bro. as the world is looking like right now, I don't think we're gonna even make it in past the next 10 years, which I'm okay with. I honestly, at this point, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like honestly, I feel like we should just go ahead and rewrite. We should just go ahead and just take this whole world up. Like, bro, we should just, you know what I mean? We gotta take, you know what I mean? Like, we gotta. This world has to go, bro. Humans on here, we're horrible. We're literally the worst thing to ever happen to planet Earth. To be honest, I'm not gonna leave the cat to you. Humans really messed everything up. That's just fact, bro. Like, bro, nobody likes humans on this earth, on this world, bro. Nobody likes, not even Mother Nature. Mother Nature herself likes us as humans, bro. Everybody trying to kill humans, and I agree with this. I agree with this. We are the most parasitic animal on the world. On this world, we don't deserve this earth. We really don't. Like, to be honest with you, and I know it'd be like, oh, he's just like, bro. Just listen to this person. Really think about this, bro. We really don't deserve this world. We really don't. As horrible as we treat this place, compared to how it was treated before, it's just absolutely horrible. And I can see from another animal's perspective, from the outside looking in, how horrible we treat this place. As much as people, and it's crazy because a lot of people, and I know this for a fact, I feel like a lot of people feel the same way as me too. I feel like a lot of people feel the same way as I do. And like, at this point, I'm just ready to, like, I don't even care if the world is supposed to blow up or whatever. I honestly wouldn't mind it, because we treated this world so horribly. We treated all the organisms and everything around us so horribly. Just like, we don't deserve to be honest. To be honest. I feel like the further we get into the future, hopefully it could change. But, you know, as long as humans think the way humans do and are built the same as humans are built, that stuff will never change. This stuff will never change. And we're going to continue making the world worse. Like, I feel like the world. I feel like the world been having coronavirus. I think we are literally the coronavirus for the world. To be honest, if the world was like a like a human body, I feel like the world was sick ever since it got infested with humans. Like, we're that parasitic, bro. The world has been going through a cold for as long as it's been alive, bro. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And I think he or she, I think it's like he or she is probably like, bro, at this point, like, I can't hold on anymore. I'm like, it's too sick. The earth is on its deathbed at this point. The earth is literally on its deathbed at this point. And it's all because of us. We can't even take care of our own world properly. I be looking at aliens and other stuff and be like, bro, they probably looking at us like, bro, who are these? What are these organisms called? Humans? Bro, these are the worst organisms ever. Aliens probably don't even want to mess with us, bro. Aliens are looking at us and probably like, bro, I'm good. Like, bro, these humans, they're just weird. They're weird. They probably look at all of us like, bro, y'all weird, bro. Y'all weird. Y'all not even, y'all are humans. They mix us up with parasites, because that's what we are, bro. It's sad, bro. It's sad. I hate the earth going out sad, bro. The earth going out tough, bro. Like, that's just crazy to me, bro. And we the cause. It's funny. It's laughable, but at the same time, it's just like, bro, like, on some real stuff. Like, I have done checked out from here. I know a lot of people won't want to hear that, but like, for me personally, I'm like, I done checked out, bro. Honestly, like, the way this world is going and what's going on in this world and this, that, and the third, it's like, it's hopeless. It's hopeless, to be honest. It's hopeless. So just live your life how you want to live it, bro. You know, worry about you and the surroundings. In your surroundings, worry about your people and stuff like that, because honestly at this point it's like there's no point to really care anymore, because this all this stuff is gonna be wiped out. Anyway. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but it's just that's how I'm feeling right now, to be honest. Because I just, it is what it is, bro. Just worry about yourself. You know what I mean? Worry about your loved ones, obviously. But take care of yourself. Make sure you get your stuff done. Get on your grind. Do what you want to do, bro. Do what you don't want to. Do what you want to do. Don't worry about what other people are trying to force you to do. Just do what you want to do, because we don't know how long we're gonna be here on this earth. At least we don't know how long it's gonna be until it's game over for this earth. You know what I mean? So that's all it is. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna support the people that I support. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show love to the people that I show love to. That, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna try to entertain y'all as best as I can, bro. I'm gonna do my best, bro.
Computing and home technology were just getting underway, our imaginations for the future changed once again. In Back to the Future 2, the 1989 movie about time travel, Doc and Marty visit Earth in 2015. In it were featured hoverboards, thumb payment systems, and an automatic dog walker.
This is supposed to be 2015?
Yet a bleaker imagining comes from 1984's The Terminator, predicts a future in which rogue technological giant Skynet takes over the world. It's just one of a slew of predictions about the dangers of oncoming technology.
Skynet?
And finally, as the 1990s came along, video games offered more digital immersion than ever realised. And the advent of the World Wide Web and its growing popularity offered the possibility of living inside a virtual reality, and hence the rapid growth of VR headsets in this time, including the ill-fated Virtual Boy from Nintendo. Only now, with the Oculus Rift and PlayStation VR headsets, are we going to finally live up to those 1990s dreams. Looking back,
I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a really big fan of the VR. To me personally, you know what I mean. I only try to I've only tried it like once, I think, or once or twice. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them.
Back at visions of the future every decade, and we get a very diverse picture. The year 2000 looks very different in the 1910s to the 1950s and the 1970s. And yes, some predictions have come true, like the development of the driverless car, or shopping at simple press of a button,
driving, yep.
But a lot are far off. Let's go back to that question at the start of the video. What will our future really look like? In his book Homo Deus, author Yuval Noah Harari expects that humanity will begin its quest to immortality, with humans being able to sustain life of over 150 years.
I hope.
Equally, projects may be underway to develop cybernetic enhancements on humans, giving them improved strength and intelligence. These indeed could be reality by the end of the century. It is believed that by 2050, nearly half the Amazon rainforest would have been deforested. Wildfires might have tripled in regions like California and some in Australia, and by 2056, global temperatures may have risen by 3 degrees Celsius. And if that's too depressing for you, don't worry. By the year 2100, space travel could decrease in price, enough for humans to visit and perhaps even colonize the planet Mars. The thing about the future though, is that no one really knows what's going to happen. All we have to go on is current trends and then make guesses. But as we've seen, each present moment imagines a future with themselves clearly in it, taking advantage of the newest technology of the day to its furthest limits. The 1910s saw a future with a newly invented aeroplane taking centre stage. The 1950s saw a future of atomic power and driverless cars. And the 1960s and 70s saw their future in the stars, perhaps influenced by the ongoing space programs. My best guess is to expect the unexpected. After all, who could imagine the way 2020 has turned out? Yeah. People in 2120 will likely look back at our future predictions just like the way we look at those made in 1910. Old, antiquated, maybe even a little naive. That's my prediction at least. Hey, thanks for watching.
I feel like in 2120, I don't even think we're going to be on Earth at that. I don't think humans are going to be even on Earth at that point. Honestly. Like I said, I feel like humans are very parasitic, and honestly, if they came up with a way to where they could extend people's lives, like on some cyberpunk, you know what I mean, on some cyberpunk type of, you know what I mean, like, bro, where we got our whole minds, like, imagine them having all of our minds and like data on a simple chip, and all we gotta do is get it implanted into a dummy robot. Bro, we're not gonna even be humanity at that point. Like, we're not even gonna be human. To be honest with you, for me personally, I don't think I could live on a world or on a planet where we don't have no type of vegetation or anything, bro. Like, I don't know. I would not want to live in a world where it's just all steel and mechanics and stuff. Honestly, there is an anime that I would suggest that y'all watch that kind of I don't want to say it's kind of like how I would describe how the future would be. But it's a very good anime. It's called Igor Proxy. Y'all should go watch it. It's based it's I feel like if anything, that's how the future's gonna be. Y'all go watch that anime. Y'all come back and tell me like, bro, y'all can tell me that that's how I feel like that all this stuff that's being described is literally in that anime. And I feel like that's how the world is gonna be, bro. Low key, to be honest with you. Not to be honest with you, I would not want to live in a world like that. To be honest, all gray and dull like that, bro. I couldn't. Me personally, I couldn't do that, bro. I could not live in a world where it's just like we basically living in like robotic, like everything is robotic. Like the trees are robotic birds, animals, because we killed everything off. Like imagine, like, bro, that's how I see the future being, like everything being killed off. You know what I mean? Like everything being killed off, and then we're replacing it with like mechanics. We're replacing it with mechanics and stuff. And that shit's horrible. I could not live in a world where we don't have any vegetation, no beautiful scenery, nothing. I don't want to live in no glass dome, bro. On some like what's that Netflix show called? Like y'all know, like on some Blade, like on some Blade Runner type of, you know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I forgot that name of that show is called, but y'all know those type of sci-fi futuristic stuff that's like living in a dome. I'm not trying to live in no dome, bro. I just couldn't. I couldn't do that, bro. I just could not do that. I'd rather just be dead at that point. I do not want to live in no dome, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not the way. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed, got a little bit of educationally, hearing my little. I have more to add on to this, but I feel like if I do, this is gonna be a long video. But look, I hope y'all enjoyed. I love y'all. I'm at Debbie. Oh no! Follow me on Twitter, Instagram at viewtifulxnick.